You are now tuned in to the real news behind the news, bringing truth to light and exposing the deception behind the mainstream media while matching headlines with the prophecy of the scriptures.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing? This your boy Thomas Jr. and this is the real news behind the news. Hey, good morning everybody. How y'all doing? Y'all know who this is. This your boy, Rob Thomas Jr. and this is the real news behind the news. Oh yeah, man, today is Monday, June 26, 2023. And real briefly, y'all, I've been watching this video. I actually watched the video one time. There's a situation that went on up in Chicago. Now, you had a situation where a lady was in a restaurant, and we don't know what happened that led up to this incident. And I always say you got to be careful when you watching these videos that's put out on social media, because we don't know what actually happened before the camera started rolling that lets us know the proper context. But out of all the information that we are getting, what happened, this lady was in the restaurant. She got to arguing or some kind of confrontation with the dude, and actually this dude beat the shit out of that lady. Now what happened was, while this confrontation was going on, the lady texted her son who was in the car. And I don't know if she told him to bring the gun, because this lady was licensed to carry a gun in the state of Illinois, believe it or not. If she'd have had that gun on her in her purse, that situation would have never escalated to the point now where her and her 14-year-old son are facing first-degree murder charges. At what point do we as parents be responsible parents? Because again, ladies, gentlemen, and niggas all around the world, there's really no need to escalate a situation. Sometimes you might feel disrespected, but sometimes the bigger person always wins. The bigger person is not the person who escalates the situation, knowing that they have no way to resolve the situation. They don't have a solution. So this lady got to arguing with this dude, and this dude beat the shit out that lady. Now, guess what? If she would have had her pistol in her purse, which she's licensed to carry that pistol in the state of Illinois, all she had to do was pull that pistol. That shit would have de-escalated anyway. She texted her son while they were arguing. The 14-year-old boy comes into the restaurant, sees his mom getting her ass whooped, and he shoots the man. Now, this is where the story has a twist. After he shot the boy one time, that boy ran out that restaurant. The little boy started running behind him, shooting him. He shot him 2 times in the back. Those are the 2 shots that killed him. When he shot that boy the first time, see, this is the importance of teaching your children gun safety and knowing the laws. Because once he shot that young man and that young man ran out the store, the situation was over. But the little dude ran out the store, out the restaurant, shooting the dude, and the 2 fatal shots came when he shot him after he ran out the store. The little 14-year-old boy was only doing what his mom told him to do. And now him and his mom are facing first-degree murder charges. Parents, at what point do we be adults and not get our children caught up in our bullshit? Now you got 3 lives wasted and 2 families. One family suffering a tragic loss because they got to bury their family member, and the other family suffering a tragic loss because the mother and the child are finna go to jail. Parents, I try to teach my child. I'm not the greatest parent on the world by no means. But I try to teach my child how to de-escalate a situation. I try to, as a grown-ass person, I try not to even put myself in those situations. No matter what. Again, we don't know what the argument started about. We don't know what this argument started about. But we do know one person is dead, all behind maybe some chicken wings. Homeboy kept telling the lady, ma'am, get your food and leave me alone. At what point, you're not a coward if you realize that I'm in a public place, this shit is escalating, and you say, all right, homeboy, you got that. No, this woman put her child in the most tragic situation that a parent could put their child in. Because the little boy came in the store with the gun. Evidently, she texted that little boy and told him to bring me my gun. First of all, ma'am, you licensed to carry. Why didn't you have the gun on you? I know partners right now that are licensed to carry, and they keep their gun on them, and it's visible. That automatically de-escalates the situation. But she texted her little boy in the car and told him to come into the store and bring her gun. When the little boy got to the door, he seen this dude beating the shit out of his mama, and the first thing he did was shot and start shooting. She put her child in a bad situation. Now, 3 people pretty much have lost their lives. 1 is dead, and 2 are going to jail. Parents, we gotta, I can't tell nobody what to do. I can't judge nobody because I have had a lot of faults in my life as a parent. But I never put my son in that situation. I will never put my son in that situation. He threatened to knock her out. He was a bully. The child shouldn't do more than juvenile. No, that child is going to do more than juvenile life, Keisha, because once he shot that boy, the man started running. The man started running. If anything, she's a registered gun owner. She should have been able to teach her child proper gun safety first and foremost, and how to be responsible with a gun. When that man started retreating, that little boy ran after him. Now, keep in mind, he's a child. His mind is not fully developed. He's just trying to protect his mom. But his mom put him in the most fucked up situation that you could ever put your child in by arguing with this nigga in the store. No matter what happened, unless he took her money or took her order, what led up to this? He was a bully, but they had to be arguing about something. Even if he was bullying that woman, Keisha said, no, just watch it play out. This is Chicago. He did what his mom told him. And that's why him and his mom are facing first-degree murder. Because his mom should have said, fuck it, let this nigga go. Whatever this nigga got going on, my son in the car, I'm trying to go home. Guess where she went when she left that restaurant? To jail. All she had to simply do was just take that loss, you know what I'm saying? Before the shit even got to the point where he punched her. She should have took that loss and say, fuck it, young man. Because she older than the dude. She's in her 30s or something. This dude in his 30s something. They might be the same age. But at what point do you know you need to go home? Like Denzel Washington said in Training Day, you want to go to jail or you want to go home? She called that little boy. She texted that little boy and told him to bring her gun in there. But by the time the little boy got out the car, she was getting her ass whooped. What if she just told him, all right, young brother, you got that. Whatever just give me my food and let me get on because I got kids at the house. I got my child in the car. I'm finna go. People talk about juvenile life like it's not a big deal. Being confined changes you. He will never be the same. Guess whose fault that is? It's his mama's fault. It's his mama's fault. Because she put him in a situation where all she had to do was walk out that restaurant. If anything, she could have said, all right, nigga, fuck that. Went out to her car, got her gun, because keep in mind, she is a registered gun owner in the state of Illinois. She had a right to carry that gun. If she was smart, she'd say, what this nigga say? Walked out to her car, grabbed a gun, That would have still been a first-degree murder charge on her if she would have shot him, but her son would not be facing juvenile life or maybe life in prison. At what point did she play in her son? Going, this 14-year-old boy only did what his mom told him. Keep in mind, he's 14. His mind and brain is not developed. He's only responding to what his mama told him to do. His mama told him to bring my gun in, but when he got out the car with the gun, he saw this nigga whooping his mama ass, and he shot. Now, where he gonna get prosecuted is because once he shot that young man, the young man ran out the store. The little boy ran behind him and shot him twice. Now, guess what? After the boy shot him twice, his mama grabbed a gun. From what we seen in the video, I could be wrong, but from what I saw in the video, she grabbed a gun and wanted to go back in the store and create more damage. Black women, calm the fuck down. We're putting our children in enough danger as it is. That woman was totally responsible for that whole situation, because at any given time, she could have said, been a woman, say, what the fuck am I doing arguing with this stupid ass nigga? All right, sir, I'm finna go. Because the dude said, he kept saying, ma'am, but we can talk about it now. But who can honestly say that they wouldn't have tried at some point to prick? Guess what, Tracy Watts? I would have never put my motherfucking child in that situation. What about de-escalate a situation? You in a restaurant fighting with a motherfucker, arguing with somebody, when she could have easily say, fuck it, you won, bruh. I'm going to get my food. Because dude kept saying, ma'am, get your food and leave me alone. Get your food and leave me alone. Get your food and leave me alone. At what point should she have gotten her food and left him the fuck alone? And she know this nigga crazy. You know niggas crazy all around the country, but especially in Chicago. This man was wrong for putting his hands on a woman, because I was always taught, excuse me, no matter what, you don't put your hand on a woman. But we're going to deal with real life situation. At what point as an adult did she have the opportunity to walk away and de-escalate that situation? She kept arguing with another nigga, when it would have been better for her to go out to the car, get her gun, come back in and say, now I'm going to get my food, nigga. What you going to do? Because she had the right to carry that gun in the state of Illinois. I'm going to get my gun. I'm going to protect myself. This situation is over now, nigga, because I'm finna get my food. Don't say nothing else. 9 times out of 10, that dude, it's easy to say this in hindsight. You're right, Tracy Watts. It's easy to say this in hindsight. But the truth is, as a man, I am no coward. But I realize if a situation is escalating and I got my child with me as an adult, I'm going to de-escalate the situation. Not you when you threaten me. Easily said, Rob. But guess what? If he's threatening her, why didn't she just... He wasn't threatening her for what I seen in the video. He just told her to get her food and leave him alone. Now, it's a lot more, because all we see is the point from where they was arguing. We don't know what led up to the argument, but as an adult, what point do you de-escalate a situation? Nigga can threaten me all goddamn day. If I turn away and walk away and he pursues me, then I got a right to knock his ass off. My son got a right to come in there and knock his ass off. Because again, y'all got to look at this. Key factor. She was legally allowed to possess a gun. And Chicago got some of the strictest gun laws in America. She had the right to carry that gun. She didn't bring it in with her. She didn't think this shit was going to turn out that. She probably went in to get some chicken wings and didn't know that some crazy Negro was going to be in there. But guess what? She arguing with a crazy Negro. How crazy do you have to be? Who the bigger fool? The fool or the nigga that's arguing with a fool? It's your responsibility to protect your children. And she did not. She put her child in harm's way. Now again, if she gave him proper training, he could have came in there and pulled that gun and if nothing else, got that boy off his mama. But he came in there when he seen the boy whooping his mama as a 14-year-old child with a not fully developed mind. He panicked and shot that nigga. That nigga ran out the store, and he followed that boy and shot him 2 or 3 more times. And then after that, she grabbed a pistol from the little boy, finna go back into the store. In the heat of battle, in the heat of combat, those who keep their head lives another day. My papa used to tell me, God rest his beautiful soul, he used to tell me, a live coward is better than a dead brave man. He wasn't telling us to be no coward, but he was teaching us when to walk away from a situation. It could have been this kid when I was 15. I could have been, Keisha, only way it could have been that you, now we got to look at this specific situation. You say I could have been that kid when I was 15. Guess what? It wouldn't have not happened if your parents wouldn't have put you in that situation. See, this is what y'all missing. His mama put him in that situation. And black women, I'm going to just be real, y'all talk too goddamn much sometimes. Y'all always got to get the last word. Even when a nigga say, look, man, leave me alone, I'm tired. Even when y'all say, At what point do you just back the fuck? Even as a man, I'm no fucking coward. But I know when a situation escalating and some foolishness is finna start, guess what I'm gonna do? You got that, bruh. Give me my food, y'all. Let me get on. Now, if a nigga like me, though, I'd have walked out the restaurant and say, yeah, you got that, cuz. I'd have walked out there to that car and got my gun. And then I'd ask him, say, cuz, what that shit you were talking in the store? I'd have did it like that. I would have took possession of my weapon. I would not have had to call my son and tell him to come in the store with my gun. Now he comes in the store, see his mama getting her ass whooped, and he fires a shot. At what point did she have sensitive subject? A lot happens and much needed conversation. Yeah, because we are putting our children in fucked up situations, y'all. You got parents around here. I'm going to show y'all something. That's what's going on. And y'all going to be mad at me, but let me keep this real. I'm in this video because I got to get back up on this ladder. You got single mothers right now that's telling their sons that they are the man of the house. You got single mothers that can't keep a man because they talk too goddamn much. With all that messy ass bullshit they talk. They can't keep a man, so now they tell their 12-year-old son, you the man of the house. So now they ain't got no problem with the man of the house, a 12-year-old boy going out there selling dope. Now, I'm gonna wait for what, Calandra? I'm just keeping it real. I'm just keeping it real. I mean, you might disagree with me, but this is the way I see it, and in my 53 years. You say black women, but black men are the ones acting a damn fool around the country, doing clowning violence. You know why? Because most of them have been raised by single motherfucking mothers. That's why, black men. These ain't even black men. I call them little boys in grown men's body because they, even though they are grown up as an adult in adult body, they have been mentally castrated by this system that we live in. And then you got a single motherfucking mother that's telling her 12-year-old boy that he's the man of the house. Whose fault is that? It's the fault of our culture. It's the fault of our culture. Now I gotta get back to work. We can have another video I can do another video and we can have a community discussion. I can even do it on YouTube Live this evening. And you're wrong this time, brother. And I still love you. How am I wrong, Keisha? How am I wrong? Tell me where I'm wrong. If she would have been arguing with that dude in the first place, would this have ever happened? Keisha, let me ask you a question. Just yes or no. If she would not have been arguing with that dude, would this situation even, would we even be talking about this? Would we be even arguing about this if she would have been a lady and say, okay, young man, or okay, my brother, I'm going to get my food and I'm going to go home. No, she stood there arguing, knowing how aggressive these young black men are. This dude wasn't young, though. He was 30. I think he was 32. I don't know how old she was. I know her son was 14. He should have never been put in that situation. by his mother. And I noticed the only ones who are going to say something, and I hope don't nobody get offended, are black women. How y'all gonna justify that shit there? When she could have easily got her food and walked the fuck out. And we would have never saw a video like that because it would have never happened. Why instead of, sister, please be in your expression. I hear you, but it's coming across a little harsh. Oh, it got to come out harsh because this shit needs to be talked about. She put her son in that situation. As an adult, you got to be an example for your child. De-escalate. She escalated that situation to the point where that dude punched her. When she could have easily got her chicken wings, took that little loss or whatever argument they had as an adult, a smart thinking adult, she'd have walked the fuck out that store. Wouldn't have had to call her son. Notice what she called her son. She said, come and bring me my pistol. By that time, she was getting her ass whooped. Her mouth. Don't the Bible say the power of life and death is in the tongue? Her tongue got her in that situation. Her inability to think in a critical situation, to think clearly in a critical... Most times, I always learn this. I done got shot before. The one thing you cannot do, freedom of speech. Freedom of speech. Keisha Savelle, do you realize how dumb that shit just sounded? Then you my dog, you my girl, you my little sister. I love the fuck out you. But do you realize how stupid that shit? Freedom of speech got her in prison right now. You have a right to say what you want, long as it does not say incite violence. That's what freedom of speech is. You cannot go into a crowded motherfucking theater and yell fire. Freedom of speech comes with responsibility, as long as it does not incite violence. And she incited the violence that took place. Are you understanding that part? She incited that whole situation. No matter what that dude told her, no matter what the argument started about, at what point do you say, I got my son in the car? I don't want my son to see me fighting. I don't want my son to even see this type of activity. At what point could she use her freedom of speech and say, okay, young brother, you got that. I'm walking out this store. Fuck it, just give me my food, sir. And I would have walked, because he kept telling her, woman, get your food and leave me alone. She kept talking. She kept talking. Just like we're doing right now. It is a crime. It's a crime to threaten someone, but guess what? To threaten someone, yeah, that's called a terroristic threat. But guess what? Well, guess what he told her though? Get your food and leave me alone. So why was she steadily talking? Why did she get her food and leave him alone? No, no lie. I'll be a coward or when I'm present of my child. Exactly. And it's not like you being a coward. No, you're being a responsible fucking adult. Why would you put if you got just like in Freeport, remember on Valentine's Day, what day it was? That girl got into that fight with them girls at Ford Park. She left Ford Park with her 9 fucking children and went up there on Hearn Avenue, up there at that Masonic Lodge, and challenged the girls who she just got into it with, and somebody shot her. At what point do you just shut the fuck up? Take that loss and walk on so that you can be there to raise your children, because guess what? She's not going, it was on Easter. Guess what? She's not going to be there to raise her child. You know, she'll probably never see her fucking child again unless she's going in and out of a courtroom. Unless she's going in and out of a courtroom. She will probably die in prison, and her son probably will spend the next 10, 15 years in prison. Cause I ain't no business hitting women if she didn't put her hands on me. Hey, Jamon, hold on. Child, oh, she didn't put her hand. Hold on, let me see what Jamon, my boy Jamon just say. Because, hold on, I don't hit women either. Because it could have been the son seeing his dead mother. No, Jamon, let me show you something. As she would have simply shut the fuck up, got her food, and walked out that store. This is the point y'all missing. Just like she said, who just said, I would have been a coward that day. A live coward is better than a dead brave man. She put her boy in that situation. Why didn't she just shut the fuck up, walk out there and get the gun herself? Think about that. Why didn't she just shut up, walk outside and get the gun herself, and then come back in? At least her son would not be facing life in prison on a first-degree murder charge. So no, we can make excuses for motherfuckers, but are you making excuses for a person who did the right thing or the wrong thing? Everything she did was dead fucking wrong, bro. To the point, even arguing about somebody over some food. That, keep in mind, the boy said, get your food, ma'am, and leave me alone. Okay, I'm gonna get my food, young brother, and I'm finna walk the fuck up out of here. But no, nigga, you this. Get your food, ma'am, and leave me alone. You don't know what's going on in the crazy motherfucker mind. Get your food, ma'am, and leave me alone. Get your food, ma'am, leave me alone. I'm gonna let you say something else, I'm gonna hit you. Say something else, I'm gonna pow. All she had to do was shut the fuck up, get her food, and walk out of there. We wouldn't even be talking about this. Y'all be blessed.